The day finally arrived for me to visit my parents' house, and of course, I was going alone. Steve had been trying to hide his anxiety throughout the morning, but it was obvious. Every so often, he would ask, "What time are you leaving?" or "Has Mom called yet?" It felt like he was impatient for me to leave, as if he had a plan, or maybe I was just overthinking everything. By noon, I was done packing and left for Southampton. The journey felt long and unusually lonely. Normally, Steve would call every 2 hours to check on me if I traveled alone, but this time was different. The silence from him was deafening. No calls, no messages. When I finally arrived at my parents' house, I struggled to feel at home. Mom greeted me warmly, but the moment she asked, "Where's your husband?" I hesitated. "He has a job in Nottingham," I answered vaguely. It felt strange, like I was talking about a stranger and not my own husband. The truth was, I didn't even know what exactly he was going to do there. After settling in, I decided to call and inform him that I had arrived safely, but he wouldn't pick up. I tried several times, still no answer. My curiosity turned into frustration. It wasn't until 7 p.m. that he finally called. "Have you gotten there?" he asked, his tone indifferent. Summoning courage, I asked, "What about your trip to Nottingham?" "I'll be leaving in a day or two," he replied vaguely. I handed the phone over to Mom so she could talk to him while I unpacked. 30 minutes later, she entered my room, still holding the phone, staring at me with an expression I couldn't quite place. "Mom, why are you staring? Is there something wrong between you and Steve?" "And what could that be?" she asked, her tone light, but I could tell she sensed something was off. I murmured to myself, unsure how to answer. I needed to change the subject quickly. "I brought your favorite snacks, Mom." "Where's Dad?" "I haven't seen him since I arrived." "Oh, have you forgotten?" "Your dad is still at the office. But looking at the time now, he'll be home soon." I smiled, feeling a small warmth at the thought of seeing him. "I can't wait. I've missed him so much." A few hours later, Dad arrived, and the moment he saw me, his face lit up with joy. "Where's my son-in-law?" he asked, looking around. "Oh, Steve had some work in Nottingham," Mom answered quickly, glancing at me. Dad didn't seem too concerned. "Well, that means I get to have my daughter all to myself," he said, pulling me into a warm hug. For a moment, I felt safe. I had missed his protective presence. Later that evening, after dinner, Mom and Dad sat me down for a talk. "Is everything all right between you and Steve?" Mom asked gently. I hesitated. How could I explain what I was going through when I didn't even have enough proof? My chest felt heavy, and words failed me. "Everything is fine, Mom. Just the usual work stress," I lied, forcing a smile. That night, I tossed and turned, unable to sleep. My mind was restless. I kept staring at my phone, debating whether to call Steve. He hated night calls, he was a deep sleeper. But this time I needed to hear his voice. I prayed for morning to come quickly. At dawn, around 6 a.m., I finally picked up my phone and called him. For an hour, there was no response. Panic started to settle in. My hurt was turning into anger. This was enough. I needed to find out what was going on. Against my original plan, I decided to cut my visit short and head back home immediately. But I had to figure out what to tell my parents. "Mom, I just got an urgent call from work. There's an emergency, and I need to go back." It was a Saturday, and I knew she would find it odd, but she didn't push too much. "All right, dear. Be safe." With that, I packed my bags and left. I needed answers, and I needed them now.